Hello and welcome to our Down Syndrome Association of Brevard Greatest Walk Brevard Buddy Walk training. Glad you could make it. We could not do this event without you, so we appreciate you not only volunteering, but taking the time to learn some of our do's and don'ts for the event. So we hope you will find this helpful. I'm Amy Van Bergen. I am the volunteer coordinator for the walk, so I'll be the person you'll be checking in with on site and contacting if you have any questions, concerns, can't make it at the last minute, anything like that. I'll be your point of contact. So looking forward to working with you. I do want to introduce you via this training to our walk coordinators who you will see on site. So again, if one of these people happens to be closer to you the day of the event, Craig Lewis, pictured in the upper right, is the executive director for the Down Syndrome Association of Brevard, and our walk chair this year is Sarah Lalo, and she will be predominantly in our stage area the day of the event. So again, if you have questions, concerns, and can't find me, either of these people will also have a handful of folks wearing staff shirts that you can look to. So again, myself, Amy, Craig, or Sarah would be your points of contacts with questions. Just so you're a little bit familiar, and maybe some of you are volunteering because you actually know these folks, I wanted to share with you who the other leadership of the Buddy Walk Committee is. Pictured in the upper right is Victoria Timberlake. She's also our board chair this year. Jay Freeland is our treasurer and will probably be spending some time in the registration and merchandising area. Jimmy Rudolph, pictured in the lower right-hand corner there, is our sponsors co-chair. So he'll probably be sort of managing in the check-in area any VIP sponsor folks. Emily DeWoody, pictured here as well, is on our board of directors and is also a professional photographer. So she'll be taking team photos for us that day, some scheduled team photos. And then you can see the list of our other volunteers on the Buddy Walk Committee as well. And I'm sure you'll get to know them the day of the walk as well. So this year's theme is The Greatest Walk, based on The Greatest Showman. If any of you have seen that movie, we are super excited. Last year was a virtual event because, 2020. And all of the fundraising that will go to support individuals with Down syndrome and families here in Brevard County. And this is our only fundraising event of the year. Now, I did put a note there that we were formerly called FEDS, Families Exploring Down Syndrome. Occasionally, people, sponsors, participants, volunteers such as yourself say, there used to be another group called FEDS, or Families Exploring Down Syndrome. What happened to them? Are they still around? Well, we are one in the same group. We legally changed our name from FEDS in 2019 to the Down Syndrome Association of Brevard. So it is the same thing. So today we're going to be covering just generally how the walk works, volunteer roles, what some of those activities and areas of service will be the day of the event, what you should wear as a volunteer, what you'll be supplied with, time and place for you to report for your service that day, any extra COVID-19 protocols, and then I will be answering any of your questions at the end in our live presentations. To give you a sense of how the walk works, this will be our first year at the Avenue Vieira. So this is not our final map. This is one that I hand did myself on the Avenue Vieira map. So if you want to take a look at this map and orient yourself to however you're used to going to the Avenue, we are going to be located here in a much more rectangular shape where I've got the mouse near the AMC Theater. So here's the AMC Theater. We're going to have this whole area barricaded off. We'll have tents, we'll have exhibitors, we'll have a stage set up here. So we'll have parking all throughout for our families, for our exhibitors. Volunteers, we are actually asking to park if you are not being dropped off and you have a vehicle. We ask you to park behind the AMC theaters here where I'm moving the mouse. And then you can see with the dots, this is our actual walk route. Actually, we've changed it now, so it's going to go up here where Old Navy is and cut through the courtyard. But our start and finish will be at this corner closest to the AMC Theater and Bonefish Grill that's right over here. So again, volunteers, we ask that you park further away, not fill up this area here, because we will have VIP parking spots for some of our fundraisers and sponsors. And we want our families who are trying to navigate getting children who may or may not be as mobile there. So we ask that you park further away from the site. Excuse me, you can see our schedule here on the right about approximate times of things. This is also posted on our Brevard Buddy Walk site. So if you forget any of this, it won't have that 5 a.m. time on there. It'll start at about 8 a.m. for our families. But yes, we're hoping that all of our volunteers will be on site no later than 7 a.m. And again, you'll be checking in with me. So here are our main volunteer roles. We've got a handful of folks who will be showing up at 5 or 6 a.m. Check in first thing at the volunteer check-in table. Even if, if we've got a table set up and you see me sitting there with a clipboard or standing, or come find me so that I know that you're actually on site. We will have and be setting up as volunteers other check-in areas for team registration, families, walkers on site. We'll have a merchandise section. We'll have exhibitors coming in and loading and unloading. We will have areas where we'll need some help with directing. We'll have lots of signage, but we're going to use some volunteers for parking. We'll have games and fun zone. We are going to want all of our volunteers, so this probably means you, no matter what job you've been doing, if you were helping with parking, if you were helping with setup, when it comes to be about 9 a.m. and we're getting ready for the walk start, we're going to have some opening ceremonies that last no more than 10 or 15 minutes, and would like you as volunteers, unless you're in charge of something that you've been told that you're in an area you cannot leave, such as if you're a stage front manager, making sure nothing gets stolen or walks off. If you're at registration and you've got, lines of people still checking in or managing money or merchandise, you won't be doing this, but all of our other volunteers will be asked to grab some pom-poms, signs, noisemakers, bring some of your own if you want, to line our walk route and cheer along the sides of our walk route as our walkers actually start the buddy walk. And you'll know it's happening because we're going to have a countdown, and we'll have a big banner that our grand marshal, we also have a basketball team from FIT coming. So when you notice those big tall guys and the banner and the countdown, you'll know that's time for you to cheer. We're going to ask you to do the same along that same section as our walkers come back around and finish the walk after about 30 minutes. So again, we're going to have all of these areas. Most important is the setup and the cleanup afterwards. So the event will end at noon. So those volunteers who've arrived at 7 will be expected to stay until, I've said 1 o'clock on your sign up sheet. I think we'll really be done by 12:30, if not earlier. We're just going to need to make sure we pick up all the water bottles and Powerade bottles if people have thrown them on the ground, or, bag up our trash so that we're not leaving the Avenue Vieira a mess for all of their guests throughout the day. We'll have some people working our first aid, lost parents tent. We actually are good on our photographer volunteers. And if you happen to have some unique skill set that didn't occur to you on the sign up to put, feel free to reach out to me. I put, again, my email, vanbergenamy@gmail there, and my cell phone number, which you should also have in emails too. So again, if it occurs to you now, like, oh, I do this in my day job, I'm an accountant, I'm a bookkeeper. Oh, well, I may very well put you in our merchandise area. We have Sunrise Bank volunteering, and they'll be going to make our deposits right after the event. But that's just an example of something. So if you are a professional photographer, I'd love to pull you from working the games and actually take some photos for us, if that'd be something you'd be interested in. So just let me know. So no one needs background checks for this event because no volunteer will be 100% responsible with one-on-one contact with any children or with a vulnerable person with Down syndrome. It's not that kind of event. Everybody's coming with their friends and family. So again, we won't require those, but just so you know, if you do volunteer for any of our other events throughout the year, we are committed to both not only this walk, but all of our events being a safe place. One of the things you see here is using people first language. If you've never been around people with Down syndrome, the preferred way to speak about them is people with Down syndrome, children with Down syndrome, adults with Down syndrome. It is not to refer to somebody as a Downs or a Downs person. That is not the preferred language. So people first language, it probably isn't even going to come up. And we certainly don't use the R word ever under any circumstances. But if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to me or again, our executive director, Craig Lewis, and his contact is there. And he's probably been communicating as well with you after you signed up. In terms of online safety, I have emailed photo release forms to all of you. So I would love for you to go ahead and sign those and email those back to me. If not, I'll have paper forms for you to fill out when you check in. That's so that as we take these photos to be able to use to say thank you to people, to use on our Facebook page or marketing purposes next year, we want to know that we have permission to use if you happen to be in one of those photos. If you are some incredible celebrity or model that I don't know about and cannot have your photo taken, please let me know that on the form, and we'll need to make sure we mark that so that our photographers know that. Please use common sense and good judgment. We ask that as a volunteer that you not be going live on any forms of social media, that you not be recording people, that you not be friend requesting anybody you meet there or tagging them. We will be doing our own promotional things and have folks assigned to that. So again, just please use common sense about that. And just like we want to protect you and your, so that people can't find you, we want to do the same for our individuals with Down syndrome and their families. So again, you should have already received this volunteer photo release form. This is what it looks like. And again, if you don't have a way to print that out or sign that and scan it and email it back to me, I will have these on site for you that day. It'll just be one less thing you have to do that morning as you jump in if you've already taken care of it. So if you can take care of it and get it signed and sent back to me, I would love that, but it's not critical. Some of you have asked, are we doing anything differently with COVID-19? Are we requiring masks? Obviously, the biggest thing that we ask, since individuals with Down syndrome, the studies mainly out of Europe, but our Global Down Syndrome Foundation and our national organizations have told us that individuals with Down syndrome are at a 10 times increased risk for more severe disease or fatality. So we ask that if you have any signs or symptoms of a cold, fever, cough, please don't volunteer. Just stay home, shoot me a text, shoot me an email. We understand, we appreciate that. Masks are not required. We are doing our best to sort of set up things in a safe, common sense, physical distance way. This event is all outdoors. We do suggest that it may make some families feel more comfortable, especially if you're working directly and helping like in the fun zone with little ones with Down syndrome. If you have a mask, that would be awesome. But again, this is all outdoors. It is not required. And part of our responsibilities as volunteers in, for example, that fun zone area, will be helping to manage lines for face painting or for getting in onto the obstacle course so that we just don't have a pile of people all at once. So if you have any questions about that, again, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or our executive director. So what's appropriate to wear on walk day? If you are volunteering as part of a large group that has signed up, and some of you are either a school team or a civic group, you are welcome and encouraged to wear your similar shirts, polo shirts with logos, team shirts, so that we can identify you as that high school volleyball team or the college basketball team or the local Elks Club. However, we will be providing everybody else, so 90% of our volunteers will be providing you with a Down to Volunteer t-shirt. We can't guarantee sizes for that. I can tell you we did not order any youth sizes for those. Our smallest is an adult extra small. And I would just suggest that you plan on coming and just putting that shirt on over whatever your current shirt is, because we also do not have any space for you to safely be able to leave your materials. So the other thing I would suggest is to please wear closed-toed shoes, sneakers, or other shoes, no flip-flops, because again, you'll be helping set up tables, chairs, tents, and if one of those tables drops on your foot, that's no fun in flip-flops. So again, you'll be provided with one of our volunteer t-shirts. In terms of your valuables, I would say car keys or cell phone or those kinds of things, wear something with pockets so you've got it on you. Maybe go old school and wear a fanny pack or a crossbody bag or something, because again, we don't have any place you'll be able to leave those things, and I'd hate to have you leave them and then forget them. Now, this is a time for questions. This is our recorded version of this, so we've cut out all of our live question sessions. But again, you can see on the screen here, my email down here at the bottom, vanbergenamy@gmail.com. So if you have any questions that occur to you afterward, please don't hesitate to email me. And again, you've also been provided with my cell phone number that if you need to text me the day of the event, if you can't make it, if you're ill, if there's an emergency, you've got that contact as well. And again, we can't do this event without you. We so appreciate you. We look forward to it being like our biggest and best ever. And again, we can't do it without you. So thank you so much. And again, I know one of the questions that has occurred in several of our trainings, if you need service hours, I will have fill in the blank forms to confirm the number of hours that we can sign off for you that day. Or if you have your own school provided forms, feel free to bring those and we'll sign those that day. So again, thanks so much. We'll see you Saturday, November 6th, bright and early. If you're one of those 5 a.m. volunteers, most of you, I think on this recording, are our 7 a.m. arrival volunteers. So again, thank you so much. We'll see you on November 6th.